A 90-minute horror film based off of a 12-page Stephen King short story. Sure. I mean, worked for Children of the Corn. Did I say worked for Children of the Corn? I meant sucked entirely. Though to be fair, Children of the Corn was like 40 pages. So The Boogeyman is the newest horror film that the studio either has all the faith in the world of, because they're like, look, we're going to come out this week with Spider-Verse. Or they're like, look, we're going to try to bury this under Spider-Verse. And it is, so the trailer says, an adaptation of the Stephen King short. I mean, it does have a therapist and a boogeyman, so there's that. It still feels like someone on the production side was like, we have the scripts. Mr. Stephen King, you mind if we just say it's based off of your short story? And then the conversation pretty much goes down like,
if you're good at something, never do it for free.
How much you want?
So this film largely revolves around Sophie Thatcher and her family. Her sister played by Vivian Lyra Blair, her father played by Chris Messina, and the boogeyman is latched onto their family. Now, at the beginning of this movie, I was like, this is creepy. I'm in. Creepy ambience, good camera work, great sound design, because good horror means great sound design. Then from that awesome opening to the end is a consistent 90 minutes of diminishing returns. Not that it's all bad, because it's not all bad at all. What I liked about this movie is for the first half, maybe 2/3, I felt that there was a solid attempt at being a psychological thriller over horror. I actually really like and appreciate that. They could have gone for the cheap thrills, but they didn't. They're like psychological horror, family torment and pain. It's a slow burn, absolutely, but a slow burn does not mean bad. And then for the last act, it's like they were like, did we say slow burn? We meant cliche horror movie nonsense that the audience has seen a million times before. And that's a real bummer. It's like the last act of this movie diminishes the entire setup to it in terms of tone and vibe, at least how I was processing it, because I said slow burn. That's how it felt at the time. But the difference between slow burn and slow comes down to the payoff in the end. If you have great payoff that justifies that slow burn, well, slow burn it remains. If you have cliche horror movie schlock in the end, well, that slow burn is now just slow. And that's how this movie ended up feeling. It was a real shame. Not that this movie didn't have positives within that last act. I thought the creature design was interesting when you could see it. But this thing is the boogeyman. It doesn't largely reside in the shadows. It can only survive in light. It's like you turn on the light, it just kind of disappears. Which means in the last act, when this thing is chasing them, it's chasing them, but it's all dark in this house and you can't see what's chasing them. You could have used the situation to the advantage of the film. It's dark, it's broody, something's in the shadows stalking them. Sure, and there are moments of that in here, absolutely. But having a chase sequence with the lights out, you just can't see what's chasing them, so it feels like you're missing out on the chase sequence. It's like they had the climax of this movie take place with the lights on, and someone was like, oh, we established this thing can't survive in light. You can't even see it in light. All right, we'll have all the lights off. Doesn't really work, but I'm not rewriting this thing. This writer strike is coming, man. We gotta get this done. I thought the acting was great. Sophie Thatcher largely carries this film. I thought she did a great job. Now, Vivian Lyra Blair, she played Little Princess Leia in the Obi-Wan series. Regardless of the flaws in the Obi-Wan series, it was very clear she's a really good actor. And for the sake of this film, when you need little kid looking scared out of her mind at whatever boogeyman lurks in the darkness, she absolutely sells it. And the camera work that's going on when she is, there's talent here. There's something great in this film. It's just, it's not the film by the end. By the end, I just walked out going, all right, I've seen that 100 times before. Didn't look like it was going that way. Could have been something special. Kind of feels like a kid who's sitting still in church because they've been told it's what they have to do. And so they do. But by the end of them sitting still, they do it for 90 minutes or so, maybe an hour of 90 minutes. They feel the tension so much, they just have to run and scream and get it out now. That's what this movie felt like. Maybe it'll be a better time if you're drunk. Yeah, no, it's a part. Shit. All right, so The Boogeyman. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below. Let me know. You're gonna really watch this? This and Spider-Verse, and this is the one you're watching this week? Fair. Won't tell you how to spend your money, but if you haven't watched it, what's a disappointing horror film that started out great and just ended up meh? Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.